We're living in an age of technological triumph, with innovators across the globe crafting solutions intended to improve our everyday lives. And there's one guy out there at the moment addressing one of the shittiest situations people routinely grapple with. Quite literally.
It's like, okay, where do you take the poop? Aside from dropping it on your neighbor's house?
That's a software engineer in Minnesota named Caleb, and he's been building a drone dedicated to literally putting up with your dog's shit.
She's the original motivating factor.
Having been forced to clean up his dog's waste multiple times a day,
You're okay, Twinkie.
our intrepid Minnesotan here has been spending his spare time prototyping this high-tech replacement for your hands warm embrace.
I felt like this is a huge problem. Why not attempt it with the PoopCopter?
Yes, the PoopCopter, the world's first aerial-bound self-guided dog poop removal system using a drone, 3D printed pickup mechanism, and machine learning. This flying feces fairy here has been engineered to hover the ground until it detects a brown parcel, a signal for the drone to then swoop in and literally take a shit. Caleb told local news that according to his research, nobody's ever developed a poop scooping drone before. We're worried on that one, Lockheed Martin. And he actually showed off the PoopCopter to the public back in September at Mini Demo 40, Minnesota's premier geek show and tell.
And this is the doo-doo drone. This is the poo pilot. This is the feces flinger 5000.
While there's no shortage of things you can call this dirty work drone,
You can't get around there being poop in some way in the name.
there's still plenty of work to be done to perfect this skyward shit scoop. For one thing, Caleb's already gone through 31 iterations of this copter, and he still needs to make it do things like run automatically.
You can do it in the middle of the night. You can run whenever you want. Decide and set a timer.
Caleb ultimately has hopes of going direct to consumer with this thing.
I think that'd be the most fun if people could have their own.
Though until that day, it seems he's able to take in a small amount of personal satisfaction by not having to use his extremities to extract excrement.
The biggest reward is actually picking up a poop. There's a little dopamine hit of feeling like you've made progress.
So yeah, it's been another weird week here in these United States, and your news refresh was here for all of it. My name is Greg Ott, and every week on the news refresh, we survey the internet for the best weird, interesting, funny, and strange news stories, scoop them up, and deliver them to you in a fun little video like this. Aside from dog shit drones, today we've got everything from Chipotle's new holiday gift collection to a $5 bust previously used as a doorstop that might be worth millions of dollars. Before we go through some of the best stories of the week, don't forget to give us a like and a hot subscribe. It really helps us reach more people in the algorithm. Thanks. And with that, it might be time to turn on private browsing. Mattel is sorry for a misprint on packages of some new Wicked dolls, which don't list wickedmovie.com, the website promoting the film adaptation of the award-winning musical, but instead wicked.com, a website billing itself as the ultimate destination for award-winning adult content. Mattel told CNN they regret this unfortunate error and are taking immediate action to remedy it, and they urged people who purchase these dolls to get rid of the packaging or obscure the link. The second Wicked film will release next November, and in a related story, wicked.com says Kenzie Loves Girls 2 is also coming soon. Oh, and a woman in South Carolina just found a python behind her toilet. Police in Columbia were called last Tuesday after a lady woke up and found this ball python right by the pot. Cops took the creature away and claimed they're moving it to a forever home. And while it's not clear where this python came from or how it got into this lady's apartment, it's believed to be somebody's pet and not an overtly literal interpretation of a request to have a drain snaked. This $6 bust, once used as a doorstop, might sell for $3 million. The thing was purchased for £5 back in 1930 by the town council of Invergordon, Scotland, because the bust depicts a man called John Gordon, said to be the very founder of that very town. But rather than honoring the man by putting the bust on display, it was instead misplaced, and in 1998 was found being used to prop open the door to a shed. It turns out our doorman here is an 18th century work by famed French sculptor Edmé Bouchardon, and aside from being included in a traveling exhibition put on by the Louvre, ArtNet says it's remained in storage as it's too expensive to insure for public display, lest someone, take the thing and use it to prop open a door. Anyway, a private overseas buyer has emerged with an offer to purchase the thing for around $3 million, and a Scottish court has just approved of putting the thing up for sale. However, there's still a legal process that needs to determine whether this thing is a national treasure barred from overseas export, leaving its future fate as open as, well, a door. Chipotle's released a holiday gift collection, which features several of its previously sold out viral products. There's a $10 cilantro soap, first launched in 2021, in honor of those among us cursed with genes to make them think cilantro tastes like soap. There's a $20 car napkin holder, originally released last year for the vehicular diners among us who always need a nearby wipe. And of course, the $28 water cup candle, which made its debut in 2022 and smells like lemon, in a nod to the liars among us who ask for a cup for water and accidentally fill it up with lemonade. They're sold separately or together in a $50 bundle bundle at chipotlegoods.com. Though do note that all sales are final and napkins are stolen separately. Oh, and during a drug raid on Tuesday, Michigan State Police executed a search warrant at a home and seized 9 firearms, some meth, cocaine, heroin, and 371 grams of, quote, various pills, and an alligator. While possessing drugs like heroin is illegal in Michigan, it is legal to buy and sell alligators in the state, though some cities have their own rules against it. Police say a suspect was arrested and the gator was turned over to an animal shelter. And if you think that alligators and drugs sounds like a dangerous combination, don't look into crocodile. Police have busted a counterfeit laundry detergent operation with ties to organized crime. The scheme was discovered last November in Latvia, where in the capital city of Riga, authorities found a warehouse filled with 22 metric tons worth of counterfeit laundry powder and liquid detergent, and counterfeit Ariel brand packaging. 2 Lithuanian citizens are believed to have helped distribute this counterfeit detergent throughout Europe as part of an organized counterfeiting ring, with the 2 facing up to 6 years in jail if convicted on counterfeiting and trademark charges. Cops believe these activities damaged the $394 billion Procter & Gamble Corporation to the tune of about $781,000. Ouch. Not to mention the incalculable damage caused by not realizing the fresh scent coming from your clothes might be fake. Oh, and a wildlife rehab in Illinois just rescued a coyote that had a milk jug stuck on its head for at least a week. The Flint Creek Wildlife Rehabilitation just said on Instagram that they'd been alerted over this bottle of coyote. And a tip from someone in Lake Villa ultimately led this rehab to find and unjug the creature after several days like that. The rehab says they're expecting a full recovery and the coyote's receiving fluids to treat dehydration. IV fluids, of course, because we know what might happen if they pour them into a jug. Now, those are not all the weird stories that we've covered this week on the News Refresh. Elsewhere on the channel, we've got the story of the $140,000 insurance fraud case out of California involving a person in a bear suit damaging a bunch of luxury cars.
Whoever's inside that vehicle is not moving like a bear. He's moving like a human. And then, of course, opening the door and getting inside the vehicle. That is highly suspect and questionable.
That's amazing. I would have never thought of that. I mean, you know, it's pretty far out there, but hey, you know, whatever works. But I mean, if they found a bear suit.
There's a look at a school that's nurturing a NASA moon tree in Virginia.
I look at this more of a symbol of curiosity, right? And how kind of simple ideas of, hey, I'm going to send a seed to space and see what happens when it gets back. So far, it's been a student-led, right? We have had a couple students plant it. And yeah, it's intended for the school to work together to kind of maintain it.
And there's also a bit about the London Zoo storing animal DNA samples in case we need to one day bring them back to life.
This could be an absolutely vital lifeline for many of the species that are literally on the brink of extinction. We can freeze tissue down, freeze those species down in time, ready really to be brought back to life at a moment's notice in 10, 20 or 1,000 years time, effectively still in a living state. We're at a cliff edge for many of them. And this may be one of the last lifelines for many of our species in the future.
These are the types of stories we bring you each and every day here on At The News Refresh. Again, my name is Greg Ott, and if you like weird news and strange stories, please give this channel a like and a hot subscribe. It actually really does help us reach more people in the algorithm, because as just pointed out by said AI Severes in the comments, the algorithm has failed me. This is my first time seeing this channel, and I love it. Subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're so glad you like the channel. And with that in mind, it's time to work on our next story. Pickle toothpaste. Great.